Nintendo is kicking off the Year of the Pig bright and early by releasing a first-party title on January 11th. They're dropping New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe right at the beginning of 2019, and it seems like a pretty divisive title, given that it's the latest repackaging of a Wii U game coming to Switch at full price. Well, we took to Twitter to find out what you all think about this coming game, and if you plan to pick up Mario's latest side-scroller. We'll get to those responses in a minute, but first, Gabe, how are you feeling, one, about this title, and two, Nintendo kicking things off 11 days after the calendar rolls over?
The fact that there is a Mario game of some kind coming so early in the year for Nintendo is absolutely a positive, so I just want to get that out of the way. Beyond that, so many of these comments and reading through the tweets, trying to pick some of these, I felt more conflicted, if anything, Zach, because some people are really excited for it because they missed out on the Wii U version, and that makes a whole lot of sense because technically it's a new game to you. You didn't get to play it. But there are those other people that are saying they haven't added enough, and then I started wondering about other Nintendo releases because we didn't really see these types of complaints with Donkey Kong, and that's a very similar thing where there's like, hey, a new playable character is added, but not a whole lot more. So I don't know what this game in particular has done to maybe undeservingly so have some more of this backlash, but yeah, I want to see what the people think. What do you think?
I think it's a dicey situation because Wii U ports coming to Switch, they're always going to have some baggage. And Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze made our top 10 games of 2018 because it's such a stellar title and it was overlooked so heavily on Wii U. One, I think Mario and New Super Mario Bros. Is not overlooked. It's something that players on Wii and Wii U and DS Lite played extensively. Plus, it feels older and more rote because these New Super Mario Bros. Games have not changed all that much since their inception, whereas Tropical Freeze, given its gorgeous art style, switch-ups, given its difficulty, it does feel like a more creative new title. I like the New Super Mario Bros. Games. I really enjoyed them in handheld form, and so that is where sort of I'm kind of like, being able to take this with me, maybe I'll get more out of it, but to be honest with you, this is one that, like, I feel it's right up there with, like, Hyrule Warriors, where I'm like, okay, I'm glad it's coming to the platform, but I'm not really all that worked up about it. It's a good, more casual Mario experience. They are jamming in some new content with Toadette and allowing Nabbit to be played across all the levels. You know, it does have the new Super Luigi content in there, and it's not a bad game by any stretch, but I think there's a reason they're putting it out January 11th. And let's get to some of these comments. They run the gamut of different mentalities. And we'll start with Brock Sullivan, who says, the last time I played New Super Mario Bros. Was on my DS Lite way back when I was still a little tyke. Since I skipped Wii U, I'm super excited to revisit the title. Now I can play it on the big screen as well. The Switch never fails to impress. And that's a valid point. If you did miss it on Wii U, it's more Mario. And if you haven't played New Super Mario Bros. Since the Wii or since the DS Lite, maybe you're jonesing for that kind of gameplay if you're not someone who has, picked up and played every single entry.
I mean, I wish this was me, but unfortunately, this is one of the few Wii U games I did play extensively. So it's not a new experience for me, so maybe that's why I'm not as excited for it. But yes, if you've never played the game whatsoever, I'm sure there is a lot to love here.
The High Ground comes in and says, I'm not interested in another 2D Mario. I didn't buy this on Wii U, and I won't on this either. You have to completely revolutionize 2D Mario for me to buy it. I'd rather have Odyssey 2. Now, I think all of us would rather have a big, bold, brand new Mario. That's not in the cards right now, or probably any time in 2019, or maybe even 2020. But I wish they would revitalize, revolutionize 2D Mario in some way, even the ways that they did with Donkey Kong, bringing in some different art style ideas. What if they went shadow mode with the Mario characters? How cool would that be? Even if visually you tried to mix things up, I think that would be such an exciting way to add just so much more hype to this type of a game.
We see a myriad of super creative art styles in games now, especially side-scrollers. Grease just came out, and that game is so beautiful to look at. And I'm not saying, make Mario into that, but just art styles, you can do different things. And the fact that Mario kind of still, looks like Mario, Yeah, we need some change, right? Because the gameplay is going to stay the gameplay. That's fundamentally what these side-scrolling Mario games are, and that's very difficult to change very much, although Mega Man 11 did a very good job with that recently, so you can still add some mechanics that'll make it an interesting experience. But, I mean, even like Paper Mario, like they did something cool stylistically there just with the look of it, so I would like to see something akin to that with the side-scrollers.
That's an idea that I've had for a while of why not use New Super Mario Bros. To bring in all the Marios. At one point they had Super Paper Mario, which was a really cool idea that messed with perspective and multiple playable characters as well. I wish they would take like, hey, here's New Super Mario Bros. Mario, here's 8-bit, Mario Maker style Mario. Here, well, he's also obviously from New Super Mario or from regular Mario Bros. I just mean like how Mario Maker incorporated that into a new kind of gameplay. Paper Mario and just have like this sort of amalgamation of Marios that might create some different scenarios and allow for art style fluidity and frequent changes. I know that Nintendo is so committed to keeping the OG Mario there and keeping it the base experience the way it's always been, so it's inviting to new players, it's approachable to anyone, and that is what New Super Mario Bros. Represents for the platforms and for the company. It's the entry point, it is the OG Mario, and it is the least... It's not scary in any way, right? Some people are deterred by, Odyssey has so much going on and 2 sticks, and like anybody can play.
I mean, that doesn't stop it from being the top selling game on Switch.
True, it's just where do they want this franchise to fit, and they are so committed to New Super Mario Bros. And 2D Mario being the most entry level of entry levels, and it shows up in what Cronart says, sort of, yes, I am getting the game. I never got the chance to play it on Wii U, and I'm probably going to play the game completely with Toadette because she is one of my favorite Mario characters. Now, Toadette is a great way to incorporate another Mushroom Kingdom favorite into the experience, but Toadette simplifies things to such a level, and we saw that with Nabbit in the Luigi content. They're saying that Toadette is not as simple as Nabbit, who can only be killed by pits, but Toadette and then the subsequent Peachette, which is, mind you, a super cool character, they do provide even more beginner-friendly, I guess, gameplay for people that want or desire less of a challenge, which to me, like, I wish that Toadette was coming in with special difficulty or special challenges herself, as opposed to, hey, this is a way to reduce what's already here. I don't need it more simplified, and I wish that they would apply some hardcore elements to at least entice players like you and I.
I did have that thought, right? When Funky Kong was, added, and now with Toadette being added, I did wonder, what if you go the complete opposite way, and instead of making them easier, you make those more challenging, and then that'll really incentivize the hardcore, and that's the people that are gonna maybe not get your game, because the casual fans, if a mom like sees this game on the store shelf, like, they'll get it with the Switch because it's Mario. So you got the casual and the people that aren't in the know. So how do you get the hardcore? By making this a little bit more of a core experience. So yeah, I would say go the opposite way with what they do.
And Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, like, Funky Kong being easier makes sense given how that game can get so challenging. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe would be one where I think implementing difficulty would definitely enhance the experience. But for someone like To a Spooky Poppy, they are apparently a self-proclaimed part of the problem. Of course I'm getting it. I'm part of the problem on why Nintendo thinks doing stuff like this is okay. But I love the game, so, fight me.
See, I wanted to talk about this for a minute. The fact that people claim that this is a problem and they don't like this, they want new games, they don't want these remakes, but they still go buy them, and these games still sell millions and millions and millions of copies. And this is a bad example because it's Mario Kart. But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it being so popular, despite the fact that it's just a repackage for the most part. There's some slight changes, there's new modes, cool. But it's still a port. And we still go and buy it, and we still claim that it's one of the best games on Switch. So I guess we don't hate these as much as we claim we do.
Yeah, and the specific title matters in the same way that we're putting Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the pedestal as one of our favorite games of 2018, and we're very skittish and apprehensive about buying New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. It specifically depends on the title and type of experience, and I will give Nintendo credit for majorly catering to the hardcore with Smash Bros. Ultimate and delivering a very fleshed out, very fully featured, very detail-oriented and nuanced title, so it's okay to have some back and forth and offer both sides of the equation. I think I just get so excited. It's like a new Mario game because the recent ones have been so grand. Odyssey, Tennis Aces, they're so good. Even Mario plus Rabbids, utilizing him across publishers. It's like, oh, this is one that I'm not all that excited for. And, part of the problem or not, ultimately, I don't know. It's hard to attribute problem to one person or even a few because this game is going to sell a ton given the title and given the platform. I mean, we have multiple titles that have over 50% attach rate. I don't know if this one goes that high, but it's going to be the go-to for a lot of familial Switch households where the console is shared across different children or across a wide variety of ages. There's plenty of people that will love the experience for the co-op and the opportunity to play it with people that may typically not be as into games. And that is what SD Gamer Boy says. Yeah, I'm getting it. Never played the Luigi add-on, and as an added bonus, my wife likes these games too. It really is a great way to get other people who may not be as gamer-centric involved, and that's where I can see it being fun for me, is playing with my girlfriend, who isn't like an Odyssey fangirl and likes titles like Overcooked 2 and likes the return of Mario Kart on Switch and probably would have fun playing this with me and getting through the levels together.
The thing I wanted to point out about this comment was, I guess that's the one incentive I have for this. I didn't play through the Luigi parts, and maybe people that did play through New Super Mario Bros. U already, they probably skipped out on the Luigi section because that was like DLC, and just the number of people that are going to get DLC is way smaller than those that buy the original game. That's the only thing I can think of. Like maybe they did like something really cool with that is worth doing, but then like the issue becomes it's like $60. So I don't know.
I'm going to insert probably something that a number of you are thinking in the comments, and maybe have already typed out right now, which is that challenge mode is a pretty cool way for difficulty to be added into this title. And I don't know if you messed with this at all or were familiar with this at all, but there are bronze, silver, gold medal thresholds for these challenges, and they are pretty tough. They can get up there and really push your Mario skills, and that is where I encourage you, Gabe, to go when you get the game. They are fun, and having almost achievement-based Mario is a pretty cool thing, and it's not something that Nintendo does often. There's a bunch of different ones. There are time attacks, there are coin collections, there are these ones called one-up rallies. There's quite a few really cool alternative ways to push yourself with Mario, and yeah, that's kind of a side thing, so it wasn't the focus point of our discussion, but I have to mention that is something that, hey, get the game to enjoy with your mom or your boyfriend or your little cousin, but like you probably can find value in this way, and being able to take those on the go is why I'm buying it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about that, so thank you for letting me know. But, I feel that the price point would be a little bit of an issue here since there isn't a ton of new stuff. And we have a comment about that, so why don't you get into it here? It's the last one.
Yeah, Mr. NMU Fred says, I would like it at 40, but might pick it up again anyways. But darn, when are we getting the Mario Maker port or sequel? This is the one that we've heard rumored since the beginning, and I wish it was the case, but let's focus on his price point. $40 would make this feel a lot less divisive, I think. A lot less about whether or not to pick up a new but old but repackaged Mario game on Switch.
I would feel pretty good about that at 40, and I mean it's $20. It's not like the end of the world, but it would be such a pro consumer like level that I'd be like way more on board than I am now.
Yeah, indeed. And continuing along with what Mario we wish we had, Dylan Lasagna says, I'm not personally too excited for New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe since it's your typical side-scrolling Mario game. However, considering that I never had a Wii U like a good amount of people, this is a chance for those to jump on the game. I myself, though, might get it after release. I'm still waiting on that Super Mario 3D World port. That's one that I think would be a stellar fit for Switch, given that it's creative, it's clever, it is challenging and unique while still being family friendly. There is co-op, it has freaking cat suits, and some really cool level design that borrows and evolves from 3D Land. I am kind of surprised that's not the choice here.
I mean, but there's already a 3D Mario game on Switch, and there isn't a side-scrolling Mario game,
Yeah,
so you might want to just like fill. That has to be the only reason.
It 100% is.
Yeah.
And 3D World is more of a hybrid than anything like Odyssey or Galaxy, for sure, given the Force perspective and whatnot. And so it is a good like crossover to get people from, if you've only played 2D and now you're trying to bridge to 3D. But I can also see, like you said, it's 100% true that Nintendo does want to fill this gap. I wish they were filling it with something a little more creative, or even a new Super Mario Bros., just so it was brand spanking new. But again, they've got their efforts focused probably on Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, Fire Emblem, and more. Your foot, Gabe, which foot, left or right, I'm not sure, but they say, with how many great games are coming to Switch in early 2019, I'm going to pass and save my money. Maybe I'll buy it if it goes on sale. I also don't need a new game yet because I'm still playing Smash Ultimate. So this is an interesting take where it's too early. In fact, if it was released more in the summer, maybe it would serve this gamer better, because you do have some earlier titles to look forward to. Now, we don't know the dates for many of Nintendo's releases, but you've got that very, very illustrious No More Heroes package coming. You've got Daemon X Machina in the early portion of the year. You got Wargroove finally hitting in Q1. So maybe this is a case of they're trying to find an open gap, and it's still not too open.
Yeah, I mean, even this gap here isn't as open. You already mentioned a whole bunch of other stuff that's coming like sort of around the same time, but it's a different audience, I guess. I mean, the Daemon X Machina and Travis Strikes Again audiences and the new Super Mario audience, wholly different, I think. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think it could just limit maybe some of the hardcore gamers, like, I got to save my money for these big titles. And if you are a multi-platform gamer, then you have plenty more to worry about with games like Anthem and Sekiro, Devil May Cry hitting in Q1. You got a little bit of a gap between January and that, but still, if you're budgeting out, it could be tricky. Let's go to Defal7 Editor, who says, I was a fan of the new Mario series until Wii. After it, the games felt bland and repetitive. I think it was a good idea, but really poorly executed. For some reason, it still sells. It's the same game. Now, you could kind of say this about a number of franchises, but I do think that it's why we're having this discussion, and why we didn't about Donkey Kong, because it does feel repetitive, and their innovations are not as notable. To me, it's challenge mode that shines, and I guess if you want something simple, you can go the way of Toadette and Peachette, but they're not really bringing... Like how does this take 2D Mario to the next generation? Only by facts alone, Gabe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a new game would have clearly been better, and even the newer games are very samey. So, I mean, I see what they're saying here, but I mean, if it works, why try to fix something that isn't broken? Yeah,
the sales are gargantuan, and a port is definitely an easier proposition than a brand new game. XG Gamer 7 says, I've been looking for a new platformer after playing Hollow Knight, Celeste, and DKC Tropical Freeze, so this one fits the bill. And I guess from that standpoint, it is going to provide a platformer that, I mean, on one hand, we have billions of on Switch, almost literally at this point. But on the other hand, it is a Nintendo tried and true, highly polished, performs well, lots of content platformer. It's hard to complain about that coming to the Switch right out of the gates, setting things up for what is bound to be a really big year for the platform.
Yeah, I mean, no argument there. There are a bunch of platformers on Nintendo Switch, and the good thing about the one team mentioned here is that no two games are the same. They all bring something different to the genre, and this is a little bit more of a casual experience, and that can't be said for every single game that he mentioned there. So I'm totally happy with that.
Another thing I'll mention is if you're a new Switch owner and you haven't had a chance to or don't have the funds to go grab a Pro Controller, this is another great game that really can emphasize Joy-Con play. And just as a personal aside, I've been looking at helping another family pick out their first Switch and what they're going to get and accessories and games. And you look at hey, what could I do if I just wanted to get Joy-Con for my kids? And it's okay, Mario Kart works pretty well. Smash is a little rough on the Joy-Con. 1-2 Switch snipper clips, great options. Something like Astro Bears Party off the eShop, great options. But it's nice, I guess, to have another multiplayer game that does really feel made for like the simplistic controller, the smaller controller. So I do give them credit there. The last comment of the day comes from Chain Joe Mole or Glitch Monkey, who says, "I'll buy it when they add Waluigi to Smash." I just got to give a round of applause for this guy's dedication to Waluigi, and also the fact that he probably will not ever buy this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I don't think Waluigi's coming to Smash either, but hey, we can hope.
One can hope, one can dream. All right, now that we've heard everyone's thoughts, Gabe, what is your final take? We are about under 3 weeks away from this release. Are you getting it or are you skipping it?
I might wait until it's on sale. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff to play in January, including other platforms. Like, this can't take priority for me. I mean, you mentioned Anthem. I'm very excited for that, and there are other games. And even other Switch games that are coming earlier in the year that I'd much rather spend time on. But, I mean, I have no problem with the game existing or anything like that. I'm not upset about it. It's just not going to be one that I run to right away.
Well, I started off this video, as I'm sure you heard in my opening statement, very down on New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. But after reading through this and remembering how much fun those challenges are, and thinking about playing this with my girlfriend and that it can be a casual yet enjoyable and quality Mario experience, I'm now going to pick it up. And I guess I'm part of the problem right alongside Too Spooky Poppy from earlier in the video. But it is kind of cool that we're getting a Mario title right off the bat. It's kind of cool that we're getting a Nintendo first party, and hopefully it sets the stage for a big year for Nintendo. Let us know in the comments down below what your take is on New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Are you picking it up? Are you skipping it? Are you waiting for a sale? Are you mad that they're making this, or are you happy that Mr. Mario is making an appearance and Charles Martinet gets another chance to shine as the leading voice actor in gaming? Let us know your take in the comments down below, everybody. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest and greatest from the Switch. And this game will have coverage as soon as we get our gloves on it. It's like a Mario reference.
Thank you.
Mario's gloves.
Thank you.
Or Peachette's gloves.
Some gloves, yeah.
This is now a very widespread analogy, but we are going to get out of here. Until next time, everybody, for myself and Gabe, thanks so much for watching. SwitchForce